Hi everybody, it's Jeanette. As you can tell, I'm in the middle of moving, but I wanted to bring you this video because tomorrow is my 60th birthday. And this morning when I woke up, you know how I wake up and I start to think, I was thinking to myself, in 60 years, what have I learned? What have I learned about life and living? And I thought that I would bring you a video about the top 10 things that I would like to share with you that I've learned in the course of my 60-year life, okay? So these are general things that anybody can actually think about and, maybe think about that in their life and make changes that would probably or maybe help them to improve upon their lives. So you can be any age, you don't have to be 60, okay? These are life lessons. So in 60 years, what have I learned? Of course, I wrote them all down. The first thing that I've learned in 60 years, and I learned this a long, long time ago, was that you should trust yourself. You should listen to your instincts just the way I trust myself and I listen to my instincts. And there's been different situations where that has greatly served me, and different situations where when I didn't listen to my instinct, something not so cool happened to me. And this could be that instinct that talks to you about a person that tells you, yeah, don't trust that person. Or an instinct that tells you, like a gut feeling that tells you, don't go down that street. And you don't go down that street. And then later on, you find out that there was like a murder on that street that happened right when you were about to walk down that street. And because you didn't go down that street, you weren't a part of that hot mess. It could be an instinct that tells you, hey, drive, this way instead of that way, and you may even miss an accident, So that inner voice inside of you is way smarter than you. It has absorbed everything in your whole entire life and it can pick up on things that you can't pick up on. But you'll get that little voice that says, hey, don't do that, or don't trust that person, or don't take that job, or whatever. Don't move into that neighborhood or that community or whatever it is, okay? So tip number one, or the first thing that I want to share with you that I've learned over the last 60 years, is to trust yourself. All right. The second thing that I learned, and I learned this later on in life rather than earlier, I wish that people would learn this earlier in their lives. And this is to love yourself first. You have to love yourself first and value yourself first and take care of yourself first before you can be of any good or of any benefit to another person, whether it's, your family, your friends, your partner, your children, whoever it is. You have to love yourself first. And the analogy that comes to mind, and you've probably heard this before, is when you're on a plane and, let's say the plane were about to crash, they tell you to put your mask on for oxygen first before you put it on your children or your partner or who's ever there next to you. Put yours on first. And that is really important because without you taking care of yourself and loving yourself first, how can you love other people? You're giving them a diluted version of yourself when you don't love yourself first and when you put them in front of yourself. Think about that, okay? I wish I learned that earlier. The third thing that I learned was something I learned from my ex-husband, and we used to fight about this all the time. I got married very young, and this was something that his parents had taught him, that he learned and that served him well. I actually agreed with him years and years later about this lesson, okay? And the lesson is, a friend is a dollar in your pocket. Listen to that again. A friend is a dollar in your pocket. And I never really understood it. I felt that that was like a greedy statement, like, oh, yeah, you're so greedy about money. But in reality, if you have money Okay, so you have all these friends and they're all Benjamins, and you have a million Benjamins. I don't know how much money that is, but then with that money, you can actually help yourself, help your family, help your friends, help your community, help charitable organizations. You can really do a lot with that dollar in your pocket than you can if you don't have that dollar in your pocket. You'd be on the opposite end of that where you're asking for help. While when you have money, that dollar in your pocket, you can actually positively impact other people's lives. First, your own life, your family's life, friends, if you have close friends, your neighborhood, your community, your charities, things like that. So that was a difficult lesson for me to wrap my brain around, but it has been an invaluable lesson. And the lesson is a friend is a dollar in your pocket. Don't forget it. The next thing that I've learned is that I needed to accept the fact, and you do as well, and people should accept the fact that people will come in and out of your life. Sometimes people come into your life to teach you a lesson. Sometimes people come into your life to help you, because you're in a place where you need help and they come in and they help you and then they go off on their merry way. Or sometimes people come into your life because you're going to help them, and once you help them and they're up and doing whatever they need to do, they leave your life. So accept the fact that people will come in and leave your life as if they were seasons, the same way that we have four seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. There'll be people that come in and leave your life, and just accept it. Don't cling on to people and be like, you can never leave me. No, sometimes the magic is gone, or the lesson has been learned, or the help has been extended, and you or that person need to part ways. And that's also true of jobs, places to live, situations. Sometimes things will come in and then they have to leave your life. Just accept it and be, grateful for that opportunity. Okay. The next thing is, don't settle. You know, bide your time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but don't settle, but be patient, if that makes sense to you. You don't want to settle when it comes to practically everything in life. Sometimes you have to settle on those things that aren't so important. Like, for example, you may want to drive a BMW, but at the moment you have to drive a Toyota, for example. And that's your dream car. And at the moment you can't afford that BMW, but that Toyota is helping you to get from point A to point B so that eventually you can reach the goal of having your dream car. But when it comes to a life partner, a spouse, the house that you're going to buy and build and live in for maybe the rest of your life, where you're going to raise your children, on some things you shouldn't settle, because settling kind of sets you back in some ways. That's especially true of situations. On the flip side, sometimes settling is just what you need to do for that moment in time. And I would say, if you're going to settle in any area of your life, settle for those things that are temporary things, a place to live, a car, a job, until you're able to get that next best thing that you want to have in your life. Okay? As I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's a famous saying. People say that all the time, and it wasn't. So you have to bide your time, settle for those things that aren't, the big important things in your life, where you can live with, you know, you can live with that situation and be patient while you're building, either building money, building your credit, doing what it is that you have to do, gaining experience in that job so that you can move up till you get to the point where you can have exactly what you want, but don't settle for the first thing, like don't settle for the first, person that is romantically, interested in you. That may not be a good fit. There are so many people in the world. Why settle for the first one? If you're lucky that that's the magic person, listen to your instinct, because your instinct will absolutely tell you whether that person is or not. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. That maybe happens, never happened to me, but don't settle. The next thing is you should take ownership and control of your life. Stop blaming others for the things that have happened in your life. I hear a lot of people blame their parents or their upbringing or their community or the fact that they're white or black or Asian or whatever. I hear people complaining about things like that. It's because of this. It's because I'm a Hispanic woman that I can't attain blah blah blah. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that um it's anybody's fault that anything is happening to me. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes people are mean and vicious and vindictive. And you get angry and you become hateful towards those people. That's a normal feeling. But don't blame the situation for you not moving forward. Live through that situation, whatever it is, live through it, take care of it, look at it much more objectively and move on to your next level. But don't blame situations or others for the things in your life. I hear a lot of complainers, and if you complain, you will remain wherever you're at. I say take all of that negativity that you may be, thinking about, and write it down, stick it in a box, and get it out of your life, because you're just delaying your growth in your process when you can be absolutely fabulous. Why waste time on that nonsense? I say take ownership and take control of your life and stop blaming others for the crap. The best revenge is living well. I've always said that. That's the best revenge. You want to get revenge over somebody who you felt hurt you or something? Live well. Be awesome, be fantastic, be all that you can be. That's the army saying, right? Be all that you can be. Be all that you can be, and just leave that person in the dust and continue. Let that person know by your actions that whatever they did to you or they said to you or however they made you feel, that's in the past. And here you are owning your greatness, okay? Don't let anyone take away your greatness. That's yours. That belongs to no one but you. You own that. All right? Next tip I have for you of what I've learned in 60 years is that you should start saving money early in your life. Make a separate bank account that you're not going to touch unless an absolute emergency, okay? And you're going to put money into that account every single payday. Nowadays, you don't actually have to go to the bank and put the money. You can set up an automatic withdrawal from wherever your paycheck is direct deposited into. You can do an automatic withdrawal into that savings account and just forget about that money. Just leave it there. If there's an emergency, and I mean a dire emergency, then you can tap into it. Or you can use that money as a down payment for a home, which would be a good investment. Don't use that money for nonsense stuff. What saved me now during coronavirus is the fact that I had money put aside so that I was able to pay my bills during this time. But I'm a saver. I like to save money. So if you ask me how much money you have, I'm like, I don't know, I have $1 in my pocket. I have that dollar that's my best friend, it's in my pocket. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I have whatever amount in savings and we can use that. No, you don't need to know about that, because that's the money in the case of a dire emergency that I need money. I have that money. So start saving money early in your life. The younger you are and the more you start saving, the better it is for you. Learn how to make your money grow. There's so many free resources online for you to learn on how to make your money grow safely, not through crazy investments or, get rich quick schemes. You don't want that. You want something that is slow and steady so that when you are my age, 60 years old, you're going to have this huge amount of money that is really going to be a great feeling for you and that cushion, that security. Okay, so start saving money early. The earlier you save, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, read books on, there's a book, I can't think of the name. It's the Compound Theory or something like that. And read books like that about finances or watch videos here on YouTube about how to grow your money. Get a good financial planner, a good accountant. Their first consultation is typically free, so get to it. Start saving that money, okay? The next thing in line with that is always maintain good credit. And don't co-sign for anyone. Don't co-sign for somebody. If they can't get what it is that they want, if the bank won't give it to them, don't you co-sign and put yourself in that situation where now you're responsible if they don't make those payments. You want to maintain a good credit history and you want not to co-sign for anybody because co-signing for people may just bite you in the butt if you don't have good credit, and I'm going to put a plug in here, I have a great ebook on Amazon, and you do have to buy that one. It's Get the Credit You Deserve. You buy it if you want to buy it. You don't have to. I mean, it's called Get the Credit You Deserve. And in that ebook, I talk about all kinds of things related to credit because I used to have a credit education and repair company. And the amount of people that don't know about credit, don't understand credit is a lot. It's astronomical, and some people are repeat offenders when it comes to their credit doesn't stay good because they really haven't learned the habits of maintaining good credit. So if you don't have good credit, or if you're trying to build your credit, I would suggest that you get that ebook. Oh, I have a sneeze like right here. Ow! That you get that ebook. It's on Amazon. You just look for my name, it'll come up. I have a few books on there that you can get. Um, and fix your credit. There are also YouTube videos. YouTube has everything on here. You could do the research on your own if you wanted to, so that you can learn about your credit and you can improve it and you can maintain that good credit and build your score as high as you can. Very important, super important. And along with that, don't co-sign for anyone. All right. So the next thing that I learned over my 60 years is to be careful who you trust. You know, trust is like love. Love takes a lifetime, and trust takes a lifetime. Sometimes you think that you know somebody and you feel that you can trust them and you share with them, they're that person in your life and you share with them. And meanwhile, in their head, they're conniving and they're thinking about how they can manipulate you so that they can get something that's to their advantage and it'll put you at a loss. It's really sad when that happens because, hearts are broken, feelings are hurt, anger, boils over. And, that little feeling of hatred comes up where you're like, "Ugh, I hate this person because this person did this to me. And they did it intentionally. And sometimes those people will come like, oh, yeah, no, it's like, what is it? The wolf in lamb's clothing? Was it the sheep and yeah, I think it's like the wolf and lamb, something like that, where the person is acting like, oh, they're so sweet and they're so nice, and they're really not. They're really horrible people who are trying to manipulate you And sometimes they're so good at it that they manipulate you and they get their way, and the one that loses is you. So be careful who you trust. And along with that, when you go back to lesson number one, trust your instincts. Somewhere along the way, your instincts are going to let you know, hey, this person is not everything that they say that they are. This person is bad. This person is sneaky. This person is, a pocket jiggler, a thief, or, a manipulator, or whatever they are. And you're going to have to cut that person loose as soon as you can, recoup your losses if you can, but get that person out of your life, okay? So be careful who you trust, be careful who you love as well. So the next thing, this is number 10, the next tip that I can give you is I want for you to always work towards improving yourself in your situation. It's never too late to learn a new thing, to learn a new trade or a new industry, or to learn how to improve upon yourself in ways that would benefit you and benefit your life. Because no matter what age that you are, you don't know how much time you have until you're no longer here. You don't know. You could have a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Who knows? Nobody knows. So while you're here on this side of the grass, always work towards improving yourself and your situation. There's always room for improvement. It doesn't matter if you have everything that you think that you have in the world, like, you have everything and you're like, yeah, there's nothing I want. But maybe you wanted to learn how to do woodworking. Wouldn't it be nice to just take some time out of your day, out of your week, out of your month, to learn how to do woodworking? I've always wanted to learn how to refinish furniture, and that's on my list of things because, now I'm 60. I'm thinking, actually, I'm 60 tomorrow. I'm thinking about, what are the next things that I'm going to put in place in my life that would improve me as a person, where I would become a better version of myself. Things that are fun and enlightening and entertaining and educational, and that would make me better. And in terms of things that you may learn as a hobby, that might improve your situation because you might get a job opportunity or a side gig opportunity where you can make some additional cash through that, whatever it is that you learned because you wanted to learn it. So never stop working on yourself. Always work towards improving yourself in your situation because it can only get better from here. Granted, we're in lockdown, it's COVID-19, things are different, things are changing. But if you stop to think outside of this box that we're in, there are ways that you can still improve upon yourself. You can still learn. You can maybe create a side gig where you can make some money or something fun to do that you can make gifts for people. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Don't ever think that, what, you reached a certain age and yeah, that's it. That's not true. So finally, I want to bring you a bonus tip of something that I've learned over my 60 years is I've learned that you should always maintain your health. Always, always maintain your health. Make sure that you are, following doctor's orders, trying to keep your weight in a good range, making sure if they gave you medications that you need to take because these things are helping you not to have some horrible thing happened to you, that you take those medications and maybe you work towards eventually getting off of them, but maintain your health. That's something that nobody can take away from you is your health. I know people that are my age, 60. I'll be 60 tomorrow. How did this happen so quickly? And they are unable to walk, unable to breathe, unable to travel, to drive. They use those little carts to go through like Walmart and stuff. They're really in dire straits. Their health is really, really bad. But when I look at the habits in their life, You know, they're drinkers, they're smokers, they're obese, there's different things that they do in their lives that have been contributors. These are things that contributed towards their physical decline. So, no matter what age you're at, you can always work towards getting healthier and fitter so that you can live better, live healthier. As I cough, right? You can live better, you can live healthier, you can still walk and do things without being dependent on another person having to take care of you to do these things for you. I think that that would be like the worst thing that can happen to a person. I'm not one of those pity party types of people. I'm one of those people that I like to be independent and I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And yeah, I have hang-ups and I have bad habits and there's all these things here, but overall, my life is pretty, it's in a pretty good place right now. I've no regrets over anything that's happened in the past 60 years. I've had some great experiences, some really terrible experiences as well. It's life. Things happen. I've loved some wonderful people in my life. Um, I have a child, I have grandchildren, things are good. So right now I'm at that, hey, I'm 60. Everything from my family has been done. There's nothing else I need to do for them. I provided them with education, a roof over their head, food, everything that they needed. Now it's my turn to do those things that I really wanted to do. And for as long as I can remember, my goal has been to live closer to the beach. So, 60, here I come. It'll be here tomorrow. And in September, I will be living closer to the beach. And that is like just so magical to me. It's like something that I've been working towards. It's one of those dreams that I said, oh, yeah, my dream is to live by the beach, but I never really actively worked in that direction. I was too busy doing things. Yeah, I'll do that when I finish this. I'll do that when I finish this. I'll move to the beach when, my son graduates high school or when he's, married. Or I'll do that when my grandkids are older. Or I'll do that, I'll do that, live closer to the beach when all these things are done. Well, guess what? All of those things are done, and now I can live closer to the beach. I'm so excited. It's a dream come true for me. So, for you, my friend, hopefully these, kind of life lessons, these things that I've learned over 60 years, you may know all of them. You may be way ahead of the game and way ahead of me because age does not determine, you know, a person's wisdom. Somebody could be younger and have a great deal of wisdom. I am a slow learner. I am a slow learner, but I do learn eventually. And this is my gift to you on my 60th birthday. I hope that you have a great day today, that you own your greatness, that you listen to these tips, these 11 tips, and you incorporate some of them in your life, and maybe you journal about them and see what you can do, what you can change in your life to make your life much more fabulous than what it is today. All right. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you again in the next video. As usual, please leave your comments down there and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.